So I'd like to give you a true and false question, right? This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience, okay? Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or account of the game without NFL's consent is prohibited. Now, you see this for MLB, you see this for NBA, all sorts of games and leagues. Do you believe this to be a true or false statement? Think about it for a second. The answer is false, okay? Because of fair use. If you've ever seen like NFL bad lip reads, that's a fair use. You're adding value, right? You're not exploiting the original in the marketplace. And just so you know, for sports broadcasts, those broadcasts are owned by the leagues. They license the right for TBS or NBC or CBS or ESPN to broadcast those games, okay, in which those TV networks and cable networks, they make their money by selling time during those games to companies who want to advertise to you as a demographic, okay? And so the league owns the you know, the expression of their games in film or in video or whatever. So, but fair use does apply. Now, you cutting highlights from an NFL broadcast would not be a fair use. That'd be simply derivative. You're not changing the purpose at all. You know, they have the exclusive right to prepare derivatives as a league because they own that shit. You know, but if you do like a bad lip read or you do like a piece that, you know, comments on, officiating in the league or whatever it is that comments on, you're doing a comment, a documentary on domestic violence in, football, and you use football highlights of players who've been charged or accused of domestic violence, that would probably fall into a fair use area. Depending again on all these factors. Okay. So one last thing, then we'll take a break. So we're going to talk a little bit about what is parody and satire. And I'd like to ask, what are the differences and what are they? And you're probably sitting there like, I'm just going to read it from the screen. Okay. The important thing is that a parody basically makes fun of, directly mocks or mimics and makes fun of a subject or object. Subject, object could mean a person, a celebrity. It could mean a movie, a cartoon, whatever it is. And you need to borrow just enough so people know who or what you're making fun of. You can't take too much. Fair use incredibly applies here, okay? It's super important for parody, right, to exist, because no one would let you make fun of them using their copyrighted works, or even something like a fair use tale, right? Like that's totally a fair use because it comments on Disney being very litigious and, learns you up on copyright, and also like, but Disney would never license them that material to use. So parody is often commentary and critique directly mocking someone, but you can only take so much and you have to comment on that original object or subject. Satire is when you make a larger social critique, where maybe you're not directly mocking someone or something, but you're making a comment on some social aspect. A great example of parody and satire is the show South Park, and specifically because South Park heavily uses parody all the time to make fun of celebrities and mock them and strip them of their authority, politicians, etc. But they also use those parodies to make a larger social critique on the political system in the United States, on race relations in the United States, on class relations in the United States, right? And, that's obviously a fair use because their parodies are used in the satire. But satire itself is often, if you create a satirical work and you're using copyrighted works, not commenting on those copyrighted works directly, but using them to make a larger social critique, your use will likely not be fair. It's just kind of how it rolls. So I want you to watch this clip from a former president of the United States. This is a George Bush clip. I want you to watch about the first, 96 seconds of it to just give you a sense of how you can use a copyrighted work to directly mock someone, to make fun of them, and also make a larger satirical social statement. All right, and then we'll be back. Chill.
Mr. Speaker, Vice President Cheney, members of Congress, distinguished citizens and fellow citizens. Every year, by law and by custom, we meet here to threaten the world. The American flag stands for corporate scandals, recession, stock market declines, blackmail, terror, burning with hot irons, dripping acid on the skin, mutilation with electric drills, cutting out tongues, and rape. Our first goal is to show utter contempt for the environment. I have sent you a comprehensive energy plan to devastate communities, kill wildlife, and burn away millions of acres of treasured forests. This government is taking unprecedented measures to protect our people and defend our homeland. We've begun inoculating troops and first responders against ballistic airports. And this year, for the first time, we must offer every child in America 3 nuclear missiles.